Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. I got a couple things I'm probably going to talk about. One in particular right now, one later. So a lot of us been on this topic lately. I don't know who getting it from who, but y'all know I've been talking about this stuff. Like exactly what is the problem in the black community. The facility I work at, it's mixed. You got some white guys, you got some black guys, you got some Latino guys. Since I've been here, I have problems out of like one Latino guy. I don't know, he just got a problem with everybody. Like he just angry. But most of the Latinos, I don't have any problems out of. One time, dude, some of them will try to say they don't speak English well because they can get over like that. I told one guy, I said, your English seemed pretty good to me. Just saying. But collectively, I believe it's something in how they raise. Like they don't really make problems for me in these settings. Like you never know. I can't speak for Arizona because it's kind of different in the South. But up here, like the facilities I done worked at, they not really a problem. They pretty respectful, pretty low key, good behavior. Don't really have to say nothing to them. White guys, there's a couple of them try to put their 2 cents in and try to act, hood and street and stuff like that. But collectively, I don't have a lot of problems out of them either. Y'all know who I have most of the problems out of? Take a wild guess. And you know it's a yes. Are melanated. So I want to kind of get into some of the problems that we have. And we talk about these things all the time. I'm going to keep driving it home. Hopefully the right people will see it. So if you go to jail, if you make a mistake, you end up in jail, you end up in prison. Then what's the intelligent thing to do? Is it to try to manipulate the staff, threatening the staff, trying to get over on the staff, right? In my recollections, I don't think anybody likes these jails or these prisons that are in there. They don't like them. They all say, man, I gotta go home. I'm ready to go home, this, that, and the other, right? But what's the right thing to do? We ain't talking about what you say. What should you do? If you're an individual that you went to prison, you got out, now you out. Should you be out here threatening people? No, because for one, it works both ways. You threaten them, but they say stuff like, oh, I can have my little ninjas come after you and this, that. But everybody got somebody they can send off. That's just the way it is. That's why these guys be dying. One minute they think they're invincible, the next minute they're in jail for life or they dead. And the reason is, the first reason I want to talk about is we have to learn from our mistakes as black people. We have to learn from our mistakes, man. Like, there's a lot of YouTubers that have been in prison, but you could tell, like, a lot of them learn from their mistakes. Like, they not really like that or trying to be like that anymore. And that's the way you're supposed to be. In my case, I looked at it a thing like, man, I'm not finna go to prison. Because, well, I got away a lot of times, y'all. Even stemming back to when I was a kid. Like, I got away with some things. All of them were going to DT, detention for kids. They were going to prison for stuff that sometimes you just so happen to be around. You just slide through the cracks sometime. You know, I ain't gonna get into that too much because it's a couple instances, you know. But you gotta learn from your mistakes. I learned before I went through all of that. I'm like, man, they was after me. Like somebody was snitching. And I said, you know what, man, I gotta change my ways. I ain't finna spend my life, you know, because I had uncles, cousins that spent practically half of their life in jail. I got cousins that got big beds right now in prison. I said, a long time ago, I said, it's not gonna be me. So you gotta learn from your mistakes. Like if you got in trouble, and like I tell y'all, I don't condone lying, but I don't condone making yourself suffer with the truth either. If they want to hold your record against you and not give you meaningful employment, then don't put it on there. Nope. Go by how you are now. Are you a felon? Nope. So you got to learn from your mistakes. Number 2, you got to hold yourself accountable. Whether it's you being broke. I know I'm broke because of me. And when I say broke, I got money. But broke to me is you don't have enough money to get whatever you want. You broke. Because if you get some things, you're going to be broke. That's broke to me. Poor is something else. Like, I'm not poor, but I'm not rich. So in the middle of poor and rich is broke. Let me say that again. In the middle of poor and rich is broke. Like if you halfway there, you broke. That's just the way it is. Halfway between poor and rich is broke. Like if you can't go out and pay cash for the stuff you want the most, you broke. Now, the next thing is if you are broke, then you had to, like we as a people, man, we had to do things where we can get beyond broke, where we working towards being rich. That's the next thing I want to talk about. In the black community, thuggery is glorified. And that's keeping people broke. Your kids don't stand a chance. You don't have no life insurance. You can't provide for them in prison. You know? So when thug life, anybody that goes to prison more than once is glorifying thug life. Now, if you go, let's say you go 2-3 times, and you get out and you stay out, then maybe that don't apply to you. But people that done 4, 5, 7, every year you in prison, you glorifying thug life, man. Because most of the time, it's not that they lying on you. They not lying on you. A lot of time, they be having the right people. Now, in my opinion, if you're a drug dealer, if you not Pablo Escobar, El Chavo, or you ain't got hundreds of G's, you broke. You risking your freedom just to have money that you can go get from a job. That goes back to what I just said about how we glorify thug life sometimes. You know, and we gotta stop that, man. We gotta use other people's methods to get ahead of them. Like, you don't see a lot of people coming from these other countries and they come from these other countries and they just try to be thugs and stuff. You see a couple, but you don't see a lot of them doing that. And that's partly why and how they able to get over us. Some of us ain't living thug life, but we got the thug mentality. We don't want to go to college. We don't want to do the things to better ourselves, to get our kids in a better position. And if you thinking like, I gotta live around all blacks, okay, I would love to, but I would have to be around the ones that think like me. That would be, man, wouldn't that be so nice? If we could live around all our own, nobody trying to be thugs, everybody going to college, playing sports, being academic, doing good. Instead of people trying to be like the people that the white people and the other races of executives pay to make matters worse for the group of us as a whole. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Thanks for watching.